Well, hello, my beautiful Sagittarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Sagittarians, this is a little bonus reading. It's all about you. So my primary focus will not be on like love or career or money. But if those things come up, then I, of course, will mention them. But this is more about how you're doing, you know, what's going on with you and how you're navigating this time period. So let's see what's coming in your way. Right now, I'm scrying in the same time as doing your reading. And they're showing me a beautiful owl with the most majestic eyes. And I'm being given this energy that some of you are actually going to get a compliment about your eyes over the next 6 weeks. And it indicates some sort of knowledge that comes towards you or some sort of good news that comes towards you that's really going to help you in 2024. So it's almost like this compliment coincides with some great news that's coming your way, okay? Now, of course, that energy is not really about you. It's what's happening to you. So let's see what you are going through right now. I mean, your first card is pressure. Okay, so some of you may be feeling the effects of this Mercury retrograde that will last until New Year's Day. And I feel more than anything, it's that you've got a lot on your plate. You may have felt really busy. You may have a lot of things on your list that you still need to tick off. But at the same time, you want to play. You want to let your hair down. Some of you may not feel like doing any of the responsibilities that you have to do. But at the same time, I feel like you will, you know, reach your goals. You will actually tick all those responsibilities that you have on your shoulders off the list. But there may be this energy of like, oh no, I've got all of these things to do and I just want to relax or I just want to play. I just want to find a little bit more fun or spontaneity. And look at that. We've got the outcome here. We've got speed. We've got bushfires and we got fire. So it's almost like you're going to be like not leaving things to the last minute. However, I definitely get a sense that you're going to get everything done. And I feel things are like going really fast for you. Your energy is like bubbling, it's buzzing. So some of you may be feeling that you've got a lot to do with little time, or you may feel that time is running out on something. Some of you may be even trying to book some travel, or you want a little bit more movement in your world right now. But I feel like you are transforming that pressure. You're channeling it into exciting things. So I actually see that you're managing stress levels. I feel like you are... Look at that, 10 of Wands, my beautiful Sagittarians. What's going on with you? Some of you have been burning the candle at both ends, okay? You may have had trouble sleeping recently, or some of you have just got a heavy load on your shoulders right now, and you're feeling the weight of the world. But look at this figure. This figure is turning it around. This figure is actually on top of the world rather than allowing the world to be on top of them. So I definitely get a sense here that you're turning your energy around for the better. But I feel, you know, you are going to be a little bit pushed and pulled in many different directions as you move through the next couple of weeks. I mean, the 8 of Wands, there's a lot of wands in your reading. So I feel like you're leading with your passions, your desires, and I feel some of you are really, you know, it just feels like there's a lot of speed, like everything's rushing around, trying to get everything done, and you're trying to be in the flow. But I actually feel like you're transforming pressure, or you're transforming worry or anxiety. And I definitely see that you're taking a bit of a pause as we close the year there. And we've got the Moon card. You're refocusing on your dreams and your goals. We've got the 3 of Wands. You're looking forward to 2024. You're so over 2023. I feel like there's been many bumps in the road for you and difficult experiences. And I feel like you're just turning things around. I actually feel like you're in control, because the Ten of Wands tells me that you're a very strong person, and that, you need to be a little bit more proud of yourself, all the things that you've accomplished, because sometimes you tend to be so busy or on the go or looking forward to the future that you forget about the present moment, or you forget about all the things that you have accomplished, all the good things that come your way. And you made that happen. So I definitely see taking credit, giving yourself a little bit of a pat on the back and letting yourself know that you've done a job well done, whether it's that you're a parent and this is a highly pressurized time, or whether it is you're in a career environment and you're hustling away trying to make extra money because things are increasing when it comes to finances, or whether you're retired and you're trying to be in the flow of this new energy, or keeping things moving, connecting to your life's purpose, mission, finding out where you feel like you belong in the world, also keeping an eye on your pension. And, there is going to be a small increase, I feel, in pensions coming through. So I feel like it'll give you a little bit of wiggle room. But if you've been worried about finances, because I feel there's just this pressure, I definitely see that you get to blow off steam, and the pressure eases as you move into 2024. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? 2024 is going to be a little bit of a bumpy road for the collective. Every sign is really going to feel it. But I do feel that you are almost like ready for it. It's like the experiences you had in 2023, some of them have been hard, but it put you in a really good position to be very strong, independent, self-sufficient, and just know where you're at. Some of you may have even felt like you were drifting for a little while, felt a little bit in limbo, shall we say. But I feel all the answers you seek and the solutions you've been looking for will be found as you embrace 2024. When you get an owl, that's what I'm seeing for you in the water, it really tells me that in stillness comes wisdom. And I feel that you're going to have a lot of deep, meaningful conversations with yourself as you close out the year. You're going to do a little bit of looking back, but at the same time, I feel like you're embracing this wonderful new energy for 2024. Some of you may be wondering, how's it going to be different? It's probably going to be the same old thing, just a different, date. But I actually see that you've changed, and you're approaching this in a new way, and you're changing the frequency as well there. I mean, this is the card. It says transformation, pressure. And as you can see there, this figure is like entering a new world. And it's number 26 there. When you reduce it, 2 plus 6 is 8, which is the number of the self, okay? Now, this means that you can actually view pressure as being negative, or you can view it as being a shaper of worlds. You can channel that energy or direct that energy into a positive influence. You're finding that happy medium, and I feel like you're going to really benefit from it rather than be disadvantaged by this pressure. I feel like you're going to get a lot done. And also, I feel like you're going to come out the other side rejuvenated, full of energy. If some of you have lost your motivation, or you felt a little bit lethargic recently, I feel the next 6 weeks, things are going to go flying past. And I know that the whole year has literally flown past. I can't believe we're at the end of the year already. But I feel you're going to find yourself in the flow of this fast paced, almost like you are in control of the whole situation. Now, we do have the Ten of Wands there. The Ten of Wands is, an energy of feeling it's time to get closure on the past, really find yourself embracing a new beginning in some way, because this means it's the end of it, okay? The Ten of Wands, it's like pressure is coming to a close. You've been transformed by the experiences that you've had, and now you're ready to embrace, spread your wings, and you're letting go of anything that does not deserve a place in your life anymore, okay? I really feel the next coming weeks and months are all about decluttering for you, getting rid of things that perhaps you've outgrown, evolved away from, whether these are friendships, food substances, experiences, people, work environments, or just, neighborhoods. I definitely see that you are excited to embrace the new year with a new mindset, and it will change. It will change your whole outlook, but also your whole circumstances. And there's so many wonderful things coming here for you as well. Now, we have the Eight of Wands. Some of you are so looking forward to traveling a little bit more, or you have travel booked. This is a card of being on the move, being on the flow. And also, things picking up pace. I also see there is some awesome news coming your way to celebrate, because the Eight of Wands is, good news coming in. It's rushing in, and it's going to be something that you will be so excited about. So I feel it's something perhaps you've been waiting for a while or struggling to achieve, but I feel like you're on it and you make it happen. Also, the Eight of Wands is a very important card because it kind of gives you this energy of, being in control of the pace, even though the pressure is on. Some of you, if you tend to work well under pressure, you may have a deadline, for example, and you know that the deadline is looming and you really don't sort of rise to the occasion until it's really close to the deadline. So, for example, I'm very much like, I might have a deadline that I've known about for 2 months, and for 2 months, I'll ruminate on what I'm going to do. I'm going to just think about it. I'm going to organize it in my mind. I know how it's going to work out. And then suddenly, the week before the actual deadline, I'm like, oh, I got to do it. So then I'm in the flow of doing it. I'm rushing around. I might be a little bit grouchy and say, I shouldn't have left it this long. But at the same time, I'm in the flow of it and I'm excited about it. There's a passion, there's an intensity. And suddenly I'm like, I got it done. Or sometimes, I'm not going to lie, sometimes I'm like, oh, I didn't get it done in time exactly the way I wanted it. But you know what? It's the best effort I could make in the circumstances that I have, because I feel, there's a lot going on in life. There's like bills to pay. There's ideas, there's relationships and friendships to form. And, I feel life has felt really heavy recently. And I just get this sense that heaviness, that weight of the world has been on your shoulders. And you're trying to transform the way you embrace 2024 so that you can open yourself up to a little bit more variety in life and just change your circumstances. Now, we do have bravery, oceans, okay? Now, you are a fire energy. So it's almost like, your whole chart here is reigniting that lust for life, that passion, that drive, that intensity. And you are opening yourself up to new lands, new landscapes. And some of you may be thinking about moving abroad or doing a lot more travel for the year 2024. Or some of you are just transforming the way you approach things and not letting that pressure get to you, because it's really important to recognize if you cannot change something, there's no point in worrying about it, because it's going to happen either way, or it's not going to happen either way. Sometimes we can catastrophize. We can, have gone through certain things in our life that make us feel we need to expect the worst. And actually, the universe delivers the best. So I feel it's really important to recognize if you can change something, then change it. And looking at your chart, you are in command. You can change your circumstances. Now, of course, this is number 30. When you reduce it, 3 plus 0 is 3, which is Empress energy. And that's all about being passionate. It's about nourishing yourself. It's also about reconnecting to your sense of self. So if some of you felt a little bit disconnected recently, or you've not been, addressing your own needs, I feel like you're actually going to pay a lot of attention to yourself over the next coming weeks and months. Not in a selfish way. It's more about, nurturing that inner child, that playfulness, but also the maturity to know what you want and certainly know what you do not want as well. Now, also, this card actually means to go forth and explore, okay? Because you won't, explore much if you keep the shoreline in sight. So I definitely get a sense that you're coming out of a comfort zone. This is a time to leave fear or anxiety behind. And I definitely see here that some of you may be embracing like a hidden side of yourself, or, hidden talent during this time. And I feel it could be something that's going to be very successful for you as you move through 2024 there as well. But this is all about opening yourself up to what the world has to offer and being a little bit more playful, okay? Now, I know that the world is a crazy place and there's a lot going on. And sometimes it's so hard to find pockets of happiness or pockets of playfulness or pockets of frivolity, shall we say. And, I feel it's important to carve those moments out because life requires balance. And I feel like you've been juggling a lot recently, and now it's time to let off steam. And I can see here that there's a lot more exciting things for you to come. Okay. Now we do have that Two of Pentacles. So that's what I mean about the balance. Sometimes life has thrown you curveballs and you may have felt like you fell out of the rhythm of your life in some way. And you may have felt that you found it hard to get back into that flow. But as you move into 2024, I can see that you're back in your stride, and it's almost like there's things that you used to do or used to enjoy doing that you feel like you've lost touch with. You're going to reconnect to those things. And it's almost like you're going to get back to your good old self. So I do say this a lot in my beautiful Sagittarian reading. Sometimes you may feel like your wings have been clipped by life in some way, but I definitely see that you are planning to get back to that sense of balance, to be in the flow of things. And some of you may have a big decision to make. And I definitely see with the Ace of Wands there that you will transform your life with the decision you make, and it's going to be the right one. Tap into your intuition. Also, remember that playful inner child, okay? If something feels really great, do it, okay? If you're second guessing anything, chances are it may not be for you, okay? Of course, we all need to do our due diligence and we need to really ruminate on our next steps on our path, but when you know, right? And I feel like you're embracing a lot more of that in your life. Now, we've got the Ace of Wands. You're going from the 10 of Wands to the Ace of Wands. Brand new start. And, these could be new starts in many different areas. It could be a new project, could be a new friendship group, could be a new hobby, could be a new area, could also be a new country, or you just embracing new energy. I definitely see that adventure is on the cards for you as well. It's like you're reigniting that spark. You're definitely leaving 2023 behind. It's almost like you're in a speeding car, my beautiful Sagittarians, and I just hear the wheels screeching, and 2023 is now like way in the distance, and you are so solidly in 2024. And I definitely get this energy that you are going from strength to strength, and I feel like you're being guided towards more exciting things, more energetic things. So if you have been feeling that lethargic energy, and if some of you have been unwell or dealing with something, I see that you will find a solution to those things in order to transform those things and, get back to some semblance of self is what I'm seeing there as well. Now, as you can see here, we've got bushfires, okay? Now, this card is very important because it indicates that you're looking at your extreme emotions, okay? And some of you are even looking at extreme emotions around you, people around you that you either live with or who are in your family unit or in your friendship circles, and you may be even giving advice to those people on how to manage stress levels a little bit more, because I definitely see that that's something that you're really taking seriously at this time. When you get this card, especially since it's number 10, that's Wheel of Fortune energy. So it can indicate sometimes when life throws you a curveball, when you are so hopeful with something, it's like everything comes crashing down. And, I've been there myself when it's almost like you're on that roller coaster and suddenly you're expecting something or you're hoping for something, and then the world sort of like throws you a different direction and suddenly you're like disappointed or discouraged. It's easier said than done, of course, but we kind of start from scratch when we kind of lose that sense of hope or faith, okay? So if some of you have been going through some real difficult experiences, it's really important to recognize that thoughts become things, but sometimes when you're thinking or manifesting and it's not showing up for you, it can be disheartening. Okay, and I feel like you actually have more power than you think in a situation, and you're going to see some of the manifestations that you've thought are not coming towards you show up for you, okay? Also, look at that card. Of course, it represents some very extreme weather that's been going on in our world, and some of you may have a concern about that. We should all probably have a lot of concern about that, but I actually see that it's giving you a lot of empathy, and some of you may even desire to help in some way. I definitely get a sense of like generosity, charity going on here as well. But this card, it literally says fury, okay? And it's more about managing your personal emotions, not overthinking a situation. It's also recognizing that anger is a healthy emotion. Fury is not, okay? Anger, it's important because our body is telling us that something is not right, something is wrong, we're feeling stuck, we're feeling frustrated, and it's a difficult emotion to deal with, fury in particular, because it means that you've overstepped a mark even within yourself. It's like the straw that broke the camel's back, okay? And sometimes when we get to fury, our insides are hurting a lot more. So it's like, don't allow yourself to get to that situation where you've noticed the red flags, but ignored the red flags of what your body, your mind, or your circumstances are telling you. So I feel like you're keeping an eye on things, okay? I feel like you're watching those experiences, but also I feel like you're perhaps keeping an eye on somebody that you really care about who may be going through something that is difficult. And I feel like you're not afraid to broach the subject because you're a really good friend and you give them a lot of honesty and they really appreciate that, okay? Now you're going from bushfires to speed, okay? So it can also indicate sometimes when you're really under pressure and you have a lot on your plate and you're trying to help everybody and not be a people pleaser, because you're not one of those. I feel like you just want to make sure everybody's okay. You just have that beautiful, pure heart about you. And sometimes you can neglect your own needs and it can make you feel frustrated. And then it can make you feel a little bit resentful that actually you have so much on your plate and you're helping so many people that suddenly you've not done anything for yourself. And I feel finding that balance and being in the flow is really important, especially during this period, okay? Now, of course, it's number 42, and when you get it, 4 plus 2 is 6, which is the number of balance. But this is about savoring the experiences of your life. Be mindful. Be aware of the speed in which you do things. Settle down. I mean, you've got cards here like the Two of Swords and the Hangman, which is slow down. And the Moon card is like savor the moment, romance the world or romance your world a little bit. You know, be a little bit more dreamy. Find that playfulness in the world. It's hard to do. I totally know that. But it's like savor the moment. You know, even this card, it literally means take your time with things like eating or working. You know, I feel like you're also being called, you know, not to procrastinate at this time or waste time. You know, we can do something like sit there and do nothing in silence. That's not procrastinating. That's giving your mind a rest. It's giving your body a breath. It's so important to recognize the difference. You know, sometimes, you know, and I'm guilty of this myself, you know, you can be watching reels on your phone and suddenly an hour has passed and you're like, OMG. Now, of course, you were entertained. However, if you're giving all of your energy to that, you may notice also that when you're watching those reels, I've noticed this, you may not notice it, but it's coming through, so I have to mention it. It drains your energy. So whilst that is a healthy way to like be entertained, of course, some of those reels are really funny, also it drains your energy. So I feel like you're noticing things that feel good but drain your energy. And then you're noticing things that feel good and make you feel great. And you're actually going to embrace more of that in 2024, the stuff that makes you feel great, okay? But I feel like you want to savor the moment, whether that's spend time with family, friends, people that you consider your soul tribe, or if you're searching for your soul tribe right now, you're going to find people who will become your inner circle friendships. And I feel like you're going to nourish those. And I feel like you're just going to enjoy the moment, okay? Now, also, we've got fire, ignition, and this is about setting your soul on fire and really that lust for life returning for you. It's number 8, so it's in you. 8 is the number of the self, but also this is about being passionate. It's about, you know, living your passion. It's about allowing you to be driven forward and not overthink a situation. Now is a time to take action, be innovative. Also, you're a lighthouse for others, okay? You can find yourself a mentor at times, and some of you may even embrace that kind of like career path. And even if you're retired, you may think about writing that book or, you know, creating a piece of art that really expresses, you know, how you feel about things, and it may help other people. But what I see here is that 2024 is going to be lit for you. I feel there's so many good things happening for you. And, you know, if you think about fires, and especially the bushfire actually, it regenerates the earth. Okay, it scorches the earth in order for regeneration, and it can be a natural cycle of you know, the earth at its, you know, best. But at the same time, of course, there are some people who actually do horrible things to the earth and set it on fire on purpose for fun, and we're not talking about that. That's despicable. But what I'm getting here from your whole chart, it's like out with the old, in with the new. There's regeneration here. There is new energy, and there's excitement, enthusiasm, and I'm really kind of stoked for you for 2024. We do have that Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is to take a break, to consider your options, especially when you need to make a decision. The perfect answer will arrive for you for your highest good, but you must take a pause to have a peaceful state of mind, especially in this busy energy. It's almost like I see everything whirring around you and you're being very still, especially as you move from December into January there as well. Also, the Two of Swords is an energy of feeling a little bit stagnant. stagnant. So some of you may be looking at areas of your life where you feel stuck, whether these are attachments to the past through emotions or memories, or whether these are situations in your career or your current circumstances, maybe even in your family unit. I feel like you're actually taking the power back and saying, no, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I'm going to change my life for the better. And you are in control of that change. And I see you taking that first step. And I mean, this could also relate to like food substances. If there is something that perhaps makes you feel bloated or overheated or gives you a reaction perhaps, but you love it, you may go, okay, I'm going to not cut it out completely. I'm going to have a little bit less of it and see if it works. And if it really doesn't work, I definitely see that you are cutting it out completely, because you've got that 10 of Wands there, which is like done. Something is done for you. And, then we've got the Ace of Wands, which is like new beginning. Also, some of you may have overcommitted yourself or double booked yourself at this time, or there may even be like events or people who come towards you and say, hey, do you want to do this instead? And you're like, oh, I've got that other thing. But you really want to go to the new thing that you've been invited to. So some of you may have to make major decisions like that and, make sure that you don't hurt people's feelings by letting people down. So I definitely get a sense here that you're trying to find your way, but also find a way to please yourself at the same time. And now we do have the Moon card. Now the Moon card is an interesting card because it is a transformational energy. It's a time of metamorphosis when you get the Moon card. And it's also about, reminding you that fear is an illusion. There are some changes going on in your landscape, in your personal circumstances right now. Do not fear those, because it's creating space for new energy to come in and new exciting opportunities to flow towards you. The Moon card often indicates what is hidden will come to light, and the universe is orchestrating opportunities for you to be happy. You can't see it right now, and it's time to believe or have faith that it is going to show up for you. Also, this is all about your inner awareness. So as you move towards 2024, I feel like you are focusing more on your inner world and your own needs, not in a selfish way, but in a very calm, reflective way where you recognize where you could be more happy or things that need to change that have been going on in your life for some time. And it's not that they've been overlooked. It's that you've been dealing with it. You've been putting up with it. And now I feel like you're saying no to those things. Also, the Moon card, it's a very romantic card, and this reading's not really about love, but it can be about romancing your life, okay? It can be like the sort of, not naive, because you're definitely not naive, but that dream of what life can be. I have a friend who every time I mention something, they have a wonderful quote that comes from some sort of text that kind of relates to it. And I'm like, wow, how amazing is that? That, she actually romances her life. She's always the one who buys herself a bunch of flowers, makes sure that everything is arranged really nicely. And I'm like, I'm too busy. I can't think about it. I've got all these things going on. I'd love to be buying the bunch of flowers, but I got no time. And so, she really is someone for me that I can look up to and say, wow, I wish I could have a little bit more of that in my life. And then it's up to me to make that happen. So I definitely see that you're, looking at areas where you can bring a little bit more of that dreamy kind of state in as well. And some of you also, you can be very focused on your goals and dreams as you move into 2024, and you're going to make some changes in order to make those things happen. And I don't mean that you're not on the right path. The Three of Wands tells me you're absolutely on the right path. So if you've been wondering, the answer is yes, but you may tweak a plan. So for example, you may think, okay, how would I advance a little bit further? Maybe I should do this. You may be coming up with new innovative ideas of how to transform things. The goal is still the same. The path is still the same, but you may be just adding a little extra magic in order to get there. That Three of Wands means there are wonderful opportunities coming in. There's a fullness, a creativity, and an achievement energy flowing about you right now, and you're in harmony with your heart's desire. And that's as you move into 2024. Also, we've got the Hangman, which means you're having things from a new perspective. You're surrendering to the universe and you're letting go of old ways, you're releasing bad habits, and you're opening yourself up to manifestation. This is a card of sacrificing something in order to gain something new. And I feel like you're sacrificing the weight of the world on your shoulders in order to embrace a lighter kind of step and more playful heartedness energy. Because of course, There is a lot of pressure going on in the world right now. And, some of this pressure, we can't do anything about it. It's going to happen no matter what. So we need to breathe and recognize we can do our part in some way. So I'm not saying don't do anything, but at the same time, let the pressure off because, collectively, if we did our own bit in some way, then we would create something really special. But don't feel like it always has to be on your shoulders, that you have to do so much because I feel like with the 10 of Wands there, I feel like you've been overburdened or you've been overstretched in some way and you're close to burnout. And you may have noticed that you've had lack of energy, motivation, or drive because you're running on empty. Okay. Now I'm just going to go and give you some final cards just to close your reading. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Sagittarians? What else do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to see? I want one more. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm loving the card that they wanted, that one more. It's celebration. So something really great to celebrate, but also celebrate the moment. It says here, this is a time of great joy for you. Get ready for much more to come. We have parties, fun times, holidays, no worries. Okay, and very similar energy came up in your reading there as well. But that is your last card, so I want you to be aware of that. We've also got openness. Okay, so that's embracing, being open-hearted, embracing the moment and embracing everything that life has to offer. And it says here, create the atmosphere of openness and trust without game playing, transparency, vulnerability, and receptivity. And I never see you beautiful Sagittarians as game players. You're so honest to attack that, I would never ever peg a Sagittarian for a game player at all. What you see is what you get. You don't like games. And if you have found yourself in the company of people who like to play mind games, you're instantly the person who's stepping back and saying, no, I'm not playing that game. This is me. Take me as I am. And I feel more of that in the world would just be delightful. We also have prayer. It's number 17, which is a star energy, which indicates a wish coming true for you. It says here, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe and it will be yours. Worship, devotion, pleading, and faith. So that little pocket of energy that came up earlier about faith, sometimes we have certain expectations for certain time periods. And the universe says, I don't work on your time. I work on my time. And divine timing comes in. Whatever it is that you're manifesting, it will show up for you. So don't feel disappointed. Have faith that it is coming for you. And I feel like it will change your landscape forever for the positive, whatever this is. Okay. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune for you before we close. Okay. So we've got no. You see, the word no is a very powerful word because it means you're setting a boundary. So I feel maybe you're going to be embracing those two words, yes and no, saying yes to more exciting, fun things and no to things that drain you or, overload you in some way. And also, we can really say the word no in very many different ways. If someone asks you for something and you really are stretched or overstretched, you can say, you know what, I would love to help you, but right now I've got X, Y, and Z to do. But when I finish that, I absolutely will be there for you. And if it's time sensitive, that person's going to do it themselves or they're going to find a way to work it out. Of course, you're a really good friend, my beautiful Sagittarians. I'm not saying don't be there for somebody, but the word no can be said in so many different ways that just says, you know what, I've also got a lot going on for me right now. And if we just take a pause, I can get back to you and I can really help you out because I do want to. But at the same time, I have to honor the responsibilities that I've got as well. And we have the wisdom rune. Really interesting because I saw that owl at the beginning. In silence comes wisdom for you. So this is a rune that indicates some of you have been tested or your patience will be tested, but I definitely see that things will work out for you. Also, you're going to be using your imagination a lot more in terms of creativity and, attaching yourself to new, exciting, wonderful things to do. Also, I feel like you're going to be a little bit more disciplined with your time is what I've got coming through there for you as well. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Sagittarians, and love and light.